Okay, I think we are all set. Awesome. All right, so welcome everyone. We are streaming live to our YouTube channel, and as you guys may already know, my name is Bernice Jenkins, and I am serving as Regional Director of Financial Literacy for the Southern region of the National Association of Black Accountants, which we call NABA. And I'm so excited with my special guest today, Mr. Roger Davis. He is out of NABA's Austin, Central Texas chapter, and he is leading a very important program called Financial Fitness. And it's my understanding that this program has been running successfully for the past 10 years. And so I'm going to just turn it over to Roger to introduce himself and just give us a brief history of the program and what you guys can expect if you have the opportunity to register and get involved. So Roger.
Well, thank you, Bernice, and I'm honored to be on the podcast today. As you mentioned, my name is Roger Davis. I'm a board member with the NABA Austin Syntax chapter, and I'm also a lifetime member. So I've served in various roles at the local, regional, and national level. And one of our signature programs here at the local level, for fulfilling the NABA national objective of serving our community, is what we call our Financial Fitness Seminar. And it targets that financial education, financial literacy objective that we have. And it's been running for 10 years. Now, the 10th annual is actually after 11 years because unfortunately we couldn't have it last year due to COVID.
Right.
But we're really excited. It's a totally free event. And this year, in addition to in-person attendance, it will also be virtual. So I guess that's one good thing out of COVID is everything is going to hybrid as well. And we offer classes that they're roughly an hour or less long. They're totally free. No one's selling you anything, but you have experts who are NABA sponsors or NABA members providing great information on various topics to benefit our youth as well as adults. And and anyone can go to Eventbrite to register as we speak. And I guess I'll stop there.
Awesome.
You may have some other questions.
So if you don't mind sharing your screen, Mr. Davis, and let us have a look at the program that you and your team has already put in place. Just my looking at the program initially, the exciting thing about it is that he has something on the schedule for everyone, as he mentioned, from our youth to our young adults, to our middle age, to our young families, and even to our senior community. And so we'll have him kind of take us through the schedule for that day and some of the sessions that will be presented there, so that you'll have some opportunity to figure out where or which one of these sessions you think might be most beneficial to you. So, Mr. Davis.
Well, certainly. Well, hopefully everyone can see my screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start from right to left because the starting right, you actually see there is a separate flyer that we offer that has a QR code on it. We'll share it later. But you notice there's a good looking family there. And that's just to emphasize that we want the whole family to come. Because we have classes that can benefit adults as well as youth and students, and as it shows there, it's on Saturday, October 23rd, from 8:30 to 3:30. Of course, if you are blessed to be in Austin, Texas, the in-person location is at Houston-Tillotson University. That's the historically Black college here in Austin. It's at their Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation.
And this will be Central Time, right, Mr. Davis?
Central Time, correct.
Okay, very good.
8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
And of course, in the middle, there's a picture of our chapter president, Walter Carter, and some words, and then also our sponsors. We have sponsors that are directly give money to this event or just give money to the chapter itself to use appropriately. And then now coming over to all the way over to the left, you see the program. And, so after registration, in-person guests get a free continental breakfast before we go into the combined session at 9 a.m. Central. And then at 10 a.m. Central, there's actually 4 classes offered. So after everyone registers, you'll be getting a second confirmation email asking you to fill out a short survey and picking the preferred class you would like to participate in if you're virtual.
Okay.
And so we would move you to that class. Of course, if you don't pick anything or don't fill out the survey, then you default to the main class.
Okay.
And
these are some great sessions too. Yeah.
So we have some classes like for at 10 o'clock, we have a class on budgeting. We always have a class on budgeting every year. That's the beginning work of everybody's financial journey. And that will be a great class for youth and parents to do together. Also, there's a class on credit scores. That's something that can be done together. Now, of course, the other two, planning for retirement or maybe caring for a loved one, that might be more for adults. So, and you can select appropriately. And the same thing coming at 11 o'clock, you have 4 choices there, banking basics for students, or using using your credit cards as a financial tool. Maybe teach those youth right away to use those credit cards appropriately before they run them up and get in trouble.
Right.
And then a couple classes that maybe adults might be more interested in. And then at 12 o'clock, for the virtual people, we'll be introducing you to folks. And of course, the people in attendance, they'll get a free lunch. So, and then again, we have classes, breakouts at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, I think of great interest for youth or adults. And then finally, at 3 o'clock, we have closing announcements. Of course, our virtual guests, to make sure that you are paying attention, there'll probably be 2 or 3 questions pop up for you to answer for us to verify that you are paying attention. And that also lets us know who can win a virtual gift card. But for those in attendance, we do have some, in addition to gift cards, they could potentially win a laptop or a computer or a tablet, or, a bigger prize of incentive to encourage people to come.
Right.
And of course, we will be following the COVID guidelines of, strongly encouraging people to wear masks. We can't mandate that. And hopefully, and taking temperatures and where possible, socially distancing. Okay. And then I'll just scroll up and you can see some of the good looking and handsome folk that are there. You got my funny face there, and then all the other good looking folk who are doing the presentations. And so we have a mixture of NABA people from our NABA sponsors presenting, as well as NABA members, because that's another goal. In giving back to the community, giving them good financial information, we also get a chance to show off our NABA members to the community as well. So hopefully, we might garner more NABA members, and or more customers and clients for our members. So this program fulfills several goals of NABA.
Awesome. So, Mr. Davis, this has been going on for the last 10 years. Obviously, it's something that our community needs. It's one of those topics that we can't talk enough about as far as financial management. Would you just give a few words for why it's so important to attend sessions like this, and why is it so important for our community?
Yes, finances is one of those topics that people are shy or don't want to talk about, unfortunately. However, it's very key to your standard of living, your quality of life. And our lives change as we grow. Just like our bodies grow, different financial challenges are presented to us. And why not get free expert advice to compare to what you're doing in a very confidential way? You're not giving any confidential information to anyone, but you can just compare what you're doing. So if you're in a bad position, you can work to improve it, or you could be in a good position, but that doesn't mean your good position cannot be improved.
Right. I love that.
And it just like we're encouraged to medically get an annual checkup, and unfortunately, and I'm speaking about myself and other men, we don't want to go to the doctor, and we wait until we have a major problem. Well, the same thing with our finances. This is a great opportunity. It's free. You have opportunity to even win gifts and even get fed if you come. And yet you can check some of the key issues depending on where you are in your financial journey, whether you're a teenager, whether you're a young adult, a more senior adult. You can make sure that your choices are leading to the goals you desire. Right.
That's great. So, Mr. Davis, if you don't mind, can we scroll up to the first page just for a second? I wanted to highlight some of those sessions after lunch, like the investment and insurance, estates, wills and trusts, even Social Security benefits and planning, and make a comment as it relates to the underserved community and a lot of people that are within that low to moderate income level, where they're focused more so on survival, to the extent that financial awareness and also financial needs tend to happen to them versus being planned ahead for. And a lot of times in communities, we don't really get this information until it's too late, or until circumstances have happened where you actually need to look into it, like caring for a family member as a caregiver. There are things that we could be planning ahead of time, even retirement, even with planning for retirement as it relates to Social Security. So I wanted to highlight that as well. Oh, and also the fact that you have items on here for entrepreneurs as well, and getting started, business bookkeeping, as well as Medicare and Medicaid. So this is an event, ladies and gentlemen, that you absolutely do not want to miss. One question I want to ask you, for those that are looking at this program and they're deciding which one of these sessions will work for them, or that they're of interest, can you speak to whether or not they need to be on the virtual platform the entire day, or can they log in throughout the day based on their sessions? How does that work for the virtual folks?
Great question. Now, of course, we would love everyone to be on all day long, but however, we totally understand, we all have full lives. We've got significant others, spouses, children, grandparents, we got football, soccer, and all that. So if you want to come just in the morning, just in the afternoon, come for one class, only one class in the morning, one class in the afternoon. It doesn't matter to us. The main goal is we want you to get the information that you need to help you in the life stage you are on your journey. Just like you mentioned, some people are either already 65 and above, or maybe they're over 50 or over 55 and approaching Social Security. And so they may be interested, am I taking advantage of all the programs and opportunities to benefit me? Because unfortunately we all get too many spam calls. Yeah. And so why not get it from somebody who you can see face to face versus someone on the call, or get an email from a strange place and get taken advantage of. So, so we don't want fear to keep our people from getting the information that they need because they've heard someone else has been taken advantage of.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And of course, COVID has caused folk to, lose their jobs, and sometimes it's hard going back and getting the job at the same income level that you had it previously. So starting a business to supplement that income might be something they're looking into, and it's a great idea, but there are things you need to be aware of so that business is started successfully. Yeah. And grows. And because you don't want to start it and get in trouble with the IRS later.
No, it's great to plan ahead.
Exactly. And same thing with estate trusts and wills. Lots of times we don't think ourselves as being rich or blessed people, but you'd be surprised of what we have in value that could be left as a legacy to a loved one, whether it be a spouse or a significant other or a child or niece or nephew. And if those things aren't done ahead of time versus when someone dies, because a lot of emotions, it's just not the right time to do that. And you're probably rushing and you won't cover everything. You'd hate for valuables or valuable property to be lost to the government because the right steps weren't taken advantage of.
Oh, that's a great point. That's excellent.
Same thing, obtaining financial aid or scholarships for your students. That's always a hot topic every year. And that's something that you need to start early on and know what to do. Without fail, every year, even as hard as we work to mentor our students in our NABA chapters, we have close to 150 college NABA student chapters, and the ones that participate get the information. But we have some late students after deadlines have passed. Mr. Davis, can you help me get a scholarship? I would love to, but lots of times they waited too long.
Yeah.
And so if we can provide that information ahead of time,
yes,
hopefully they'll be more prepared.
Right.
Because there have been situations annually where scholarships have not been awarded because not enough students have applied. Wow,
that is free money. I really like the theme of preparation, planning ahead. These are simple concepts that really make a big difference when it comes to wealth building within our community, which is totally possible. One of the things that we have spent a lot of time talking about is just the wealth gap between underserved communities. And honestly, the wealth gap within the African American community hasn't changed very much, despite the fact that we've made a lot of economic strides over the years. And there's a number of factors for that, obviously, but intergenerational wealth transfer is one of the largest factors, as far as us having the ability to close the wealth gap. So I think all of this is just very important to helping our community rise above, and continue to grow from a financial standpoint. So let's talk about getting registered. For those that are interested in registering, Mr. Davis, if you don't mind sharing the program that has that QR code there. And we can, have people to, with the QR code, for those that may not be familiar with it, it was certainly a concept that was new to me. You will simply take your phone, put it on your camera setting, and then wave it over that QR code, and a website will pop up on your phone, and you can, from that website, register for the event. All right. Very good.
Yep.
So
Yeah, there's the QR code right there. And even if they don't have the QR code, they just go to eventbrite.com and search for 10th Annual Financial Fitness Seminar, Austin, Texas. They'll find it and they can register, because this QR code takes them to Eventbrite, right at our registration page.
And what I will also do, Mr. Davis, after we finish this YouTube session, I'll be sure to add the link on the description of our video as well.
Fantastic.
For the sharing.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I think we ought to just leave the QR code here as we say our final, goodbyes and hope and plug for folks to join us on the October 23rd. So do you have any final words you'd like to share before we close out?
Well, I highly encourage everyone to participate, and I encourage you to participate as a family. Just like this beautiful picture of a family here. People are used to, going to Bible study and church and together and hearing those great words of wisdom. And then afterwards, maybe over lunch or at home, talking about how they can improve their lives from a spiritual standpoint. Well, we're hoping the same thing happens here. We're hoping the whole family would come out in person or virtually, anytime between 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 Central Time, and come get the great information. And then after that, talk about it as a family together, and so that it becomes an annual thing, so that all our families can have a great quality of life, but also leave a legacy for those coming behind. And if we do it together, it's, one of the cliches, it takes a village.
It does.
And this is something that we can't afford to fall behind in, because
Absolutely.
Inflation doesn't discriminate.
We surely.
Matter of fact, I live in Austin, and I don't think it's only happening here, where gentrification is pushing people out of the cities because it's becoming too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So time waits on no man. It passes on. So highly encourage everyone to take advantage of this free opportunity to better yourself from a financial position.
Awesome.
And
okay.
Especially all our low to moderate income families.
Especially, yes, because honestly, it's really not about how much money you're making, it's what you're doing with it. And how you're planning ahead. So, okay. Well, with that, we will, I will put the link onto the YouTube channel as well, but feel free to register with the QR code. And we hope to see each of you on October 23rd, whether it is in person, if you are local within the Austin area, or for those that are across the country and perhaps the world,